Hello, it's been a while since I posted, but had to do this video now so everyone kind of knows what's been taking up my time. I've been doing a lot of bow hunting, mostly spot and stock. I have sat in the east quarter section blind a couple times. I can go with that in a different video, but here is why things in my best spot aren't the best anymore. Um, what happened was, as you can see from this gray area on this map, I'll go through the whole legend. The farmer was doing some work on the field, cultivated right in front of the blind, tilling under all the fallow grass, green weeds, um, which for 2.5 weeks I had only one picture of a deer on there. And you could tell it just wasn't a good spot anymore for two reasons. A, no cover, no food. So why would the deer go through there of a multitude other areas they can go to access food and cover? And B, the one video I did have of a deer on there, and a fawn, they were moving so much slower. So I can understand that, you're not going to want to cross the tilled ground as it might be a risk to being caught by predators, right? So that explains why there's no good pictures on that camera. And I found out about 2 days before the season started. So I kind of had to plan quickly as I wouldn't be able to get out there for another week because of vacations. So I did some quick, rapid scouting. I moved my cameras, but I knew they wouldn't get enough footage before I can move the blind. So I decided to scout around, like I said, and here's what I found. I'll go through the legend of this map. On the west left side is green for the canola that's there. North of that, there's a very large swamp that's not in the picture where the deer like to bed. The yellow stuff is the area of the field that is still not tilled under. The gray stuff is all the stuff that's been cultivated and tilled under. And on the east right side is more green, and that is the oats or barley. I can't quite remember. So I did some scouting, as you can see. The red lines are heavy trails I found. The pink dots are fresh beds that I found. The white dots are moose beds just because of the size of a small truck. Um, and as you can see here, there's the north-south corridor that we talked about before. They're clearly coming east and west. You can see some lines, but there is a north-south corridor. There's peas in the north. And the reason I chose this spot in the center of the map here for blinds is there's a couple. Um, as you can tell, that farmers do work and it's their job to do work, so things are going to change. I picked the main area where nothing's going to change. It's harvest season, so there's two green areas, and even the yellow area are likely to see work from more farming work. So I didn't want to set up anywhere there because if I set up there and things change, it may affect the deer patterns, right? Um, I didn't want to set up on more fallowed ground because if it's disked under, there's nothing there. And the good thing about the green sides is once the farmers do combine or swath, the deer will still eat what's on the ground. So I decided to find the best bedding areas in that center region where I knew nothing would be touched. There's no hay being cut down, it's swampy, it's brabbly, and off of the best corridors where I've seen deer in the past. And you can see these two blue triangles. These blue triangles were initially picked on putting this blind. I had a day to decide where to put it, and I went home and thought about it. Um, and I ultimately chose the right blue triangle. The main reason is that once you get further into there, there's lots of fallen trees, swamp. It's hard to get through without causing a scene. And B, it's also semi on tilled ground. So you wouldn't be getting the advantage of feed there. Whereas the one on the right, it still has that barley to the east, so you could catch deer crossing east-west, and it also has the cover of this main patch in the center. So I moved my blind there. I'd like to have my cameras there for 3 weeks to see what's what. They're still there, but I had limited time to move all this stuff, and it's just the way she goes. You have to plan for things to go wrong. This was my best area. It still could be. I haven't sat in here because I'm hopeful for it. I want to do a morning sit here. And I'm going to do that Saturday. But it could be my best area. So since we're all figuring it out here, and I hope your guys' seasons are going well. I've had some great lessons learned spot and stalking mule deer. I'll do that in another video. But like this whole situation here is number one, the farmer is going to do what the farmer does. Where you have in spring, summer, and even late summer that's good, that's all going to change at harvest. Like, that's something I should have factored in. Number two, don't put your blind in as early as some people tell you. Like, my other blind, the deer have walked by, they don't notice about it, they don't care. Not when I'm there, of course. Well, when I'm there once, right? You saw that video of that doe. But I think you can get away with putting your blinds in a little bit later. As long as, excuse that oven timer, as long as they're off the main trails, I think you can put your blind wherever you want. Like, on the other side, I put my blind in a willow thicket. They're not traveling through it, they're traveling 10 feet by it. But just don't put the blind right on a trail, and wait till you know that that area is going to be the same for the next while you're hunting anyway. Yeah, the farmer's going to cultivate and stuff, but hunting the fallowed ground, having it tilled under, kind of ruined everything. So lesson one, don't count on your early season scouting a ton, because things are going to change. Lesson two, don't put your blind in too early. Lesson three, improvise and adapt. Like this, this stuff's going to change. And lesson four, what I would say is, you can, like, if you don't have information, like in cameras, default to sign. Where, like on this trail, I found bedding, found deer crap. I found lower areas on the edge of the trail that were browsed down. And I think you just got to go with your gut a little bit too. I'm close enough to feed. I'm through a travel corridor. Time in the field will lead to results. So I just want to update on everyone what I learned on this side. I'll have another video on what I've learned about spot stalking. I'll be going out Saturday, so wish me luck. Anyone else who's out there trying to, murder a deer with a pointy stick, good luck to you. It's the most exhilarating type of hunting I've ever done, and you learn so much just because you're forced to watch the deer and take your time and have a whole sort of different approach. So thanks for listening. Thanks for paying attention. Shoot any questions below and keep figuring it out, and we'll have a good season, everyone. Bye.